You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG, it's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 688.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. The view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of December 8th, 2025.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Picture light and he's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, two of General Aviation's most recognized piston planes are going out of production. And a man who allegedly called in a bomb threat to the New Orleans airport could face a decade in prison. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and lock positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 688 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He's an award-winning TV and radio reporter currently at the number one all-news station in the nation, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in
New York City.
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me today from her lakeside studio, from that place, she's a doctor, skydiver, marathon crusher, IPA connoisseur, and commercial multi-engine instrument rated backstabbing jumper dumper, Dr. Steph.
Hey, Captain Jeff. I don't know who put Marathon Crusher in there. That wasn't me. I didn't change things.
I know.
I was also going to add that I used to be a high school student, and once upon a time, you won a prize in public school. Yeah.
Were you a former high school student?
As a former high school student, as a former high school swimmer, we went to state a couple times. I did okay. Yeah, but I'm here today to talk about some aviation stuff. So
okay, cool. Hey, you know, all I say is Air Force pilot and Delta Airlines captain. But I actually was a Delta Airlines first officer as well. But I don't mention that. I guess it's just assumed. I don't know. This whole thing.
It was great. I really enjoyed just your way back machine mentality there. That was great.
And people are going like, what is she talking about? Well, that's what happened before the last take of my intro here.
Two.
And we're in the middle of it right now, actually. Take 3, I think, right now. Anyway, Dr. Steph, so nice to see you. And we'll fix your intro narrative if we remember.
It's all good. We can leave it.
Okay. And let's move on then, shall we, to this dude from the North Woods of the Atlanta suburbs, a race car driver, a self-taught chef, a good one too, and a commercial multi-engine instrument-rated pilot with an interest in anything with enough horsepower to kill him. AJ Schramm, or Alpha Juliet, he likes to be called.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jeff. Good to see you. Good to see Steph and Liz as well. Looking forward to some interesting news.
We are looking forward to it as well. And then last but not least, of course, is our producer from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master. It's Liz Piper.
Hi, everybody. It's very wintry and snowy and cold here. It has set in here now.
Wait, what? Canada? Cold?
Well,
wintry?
Honestly, I don't know when we last had a white Christmas here. It's always been green for about the last decade. Climate change, but we might have one this year.
I'm dreaming of a white
Oh, boy. Here he goes.
Christmas.
All right, everybody. Have a good show.
All right. Thanks, Liz. We're looking forward to hearing all your wonderful little things that you like to say to us. And
pithy comments.
Behind the scenes. Yes. All right. Let's hit this button here and do some news.
Stand by for news.
Okay. Before we do the first news item, I would like to say kind of a production note. This is a two-part recording for episode 688. And part one, we're in the midst of now with Dr. Steph and Alpha Juliet. And then tomorrow we'll be recording part two with Captain Nick and myself. And of course, Liz is there all the time and whoever else is going to join us, but at least those people. And
11 o'clock Eastern.
11 o'clock Eastern. Okay. And I'm keeping this in the actual audio podcast as well. So people understand what's happening here. We're just going to, as soon as we finish part one today, we're just going to pick up with part two, introduce Captain Nick, and then we'll move on and see what happens. All right. So this first item in our news segment with the part one here with Steph and AJ is some news from Textron Aviation. Actually, the article is from aerotime.aero, A-E-R-O. And let's see. You know what I'm going to do? Just for a little different thing here, I'm going to ask either Stephanie or Alpha Juliet to take over and tell us about this news. Yeah, who wants to do this?
I'll nominate Alpha Juliet for this one, since I think I'll be talking about the next one.
All right, AJ.
Oh,
Probably.
yeah,
go ahead.
You're going to have to talk a lot about the next one because I'm going to go, I'm not doing that. And this is why. Anyway.
Do it.
So let's see. This is from aerotime.aero. And this is Textron ends the Beechcraft Bonanza and Baron production. Textron has confirmed it will end production of the Beechcraft Bonanza G36 and Baron G58, drawing a close to nearly 8 decades of continuous manufacturing for two of General Aviation's most recognizable piston aircraft. The company said it will continue to support tens of thousands of Bonanzas and Barons flying worldwide as it shifts investment towards new products such as the single-engine turboprop Beechcraft Denali. As part of Textron's aviation product investment plan, the company will end production of the Beechcraft Baron G58 and Beechcraft Baron G36. I feel like I said that already. Models once all current orders are fulfilled. Manufacturer confirmed this in a statement after some noted on social media that the products had disappeared from Textron's website. Interesting. They deleted it before they told anybody.
Wow.
Surprise! I think I'm going to go buy a new Baron today. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Nope.
I was just getting ready to put in my order, too.
Dang it.
The move brings to an end the longest production runs in aviation history. The Bonanza first flew in December of 1945 and entered production in 1947. According to the American Bonanza Society, more than 26,000 Bonanza family aircraft have been built, includes V-tail variant, straight-tail models, and debonaires, along with the Baron line. Textron noted it has delivered more than 3,000 Barons and 18,000 Bonanzas, although the full total is even higher when including the early production series. The production stoppage, first reported by avbrief.com, was not unexpected, as shipments for both models have been lagging the market for years. According to General Aviation Manufacturers Association, otherwise known as GAMA, Textron delivered just 5 Bonanzas and 2 Barons in 2024, and 4 Bonanzas and 2 Barons in the first half of 2025. Those volumes made the aircraft among the lowest-selling certified piston models in continuous production. Probably didn't help that I think they were over $1 million for a new Baron.
Wow.
There's
Yikes.
a lot of options out there for that price range, but the decision to end Baron and Bonanza production reflects broader shifts in general aviation piston markets. Cirrus and Diamond aircraft have dominated high-end performance piston aircraft sales over the past 2 decades, while legacy retractable gear singles and piston twins have seen shrinking in market. I don't like that sentence.
It's good writing.
Have seen shrinkage in market share.
Ooh, it's a thing, people. It's a thing.
It's the right word. I'm just saying. Many new buyers have gravitated toward composite airframes and lower cost operating profiles, leaving the Bonanza and Baron competing in a shrinking niche for our European friends, of the certified piston segment, despite their reputation for solid build quality and excellent flying qualisites. I'm going to have to look up qualisites. That one's outside my lexicon.
Oh, I think they mean qualities here. Pretty sure.
Almost. I have to. I'm so incredibly impressed with the media today and their ability to
So this is
just write.
This is what I do all the time we do the show. I'll be reading this stuff, and usually I haven't read it beforehand, and I'll go, okay, I'm like making corrections on the fly. And then that's why sometimes I say there are certain outlets, certain aviation news resources that we use for our news, and I have a very not a very positive feel about.
Rather low.
Feel about them and the quality of their, and to be fair, a lot of them it's because they're English is not their first language, so you got to give them a break, I guess. Yeah,
I think aerotime.aero is based
well, yeah.
on
In this
the UK.
case, I don't think they get to use that excuse. There's some other excuse. Yeah,
They can't even say those silly Americans. Oh well.
all right. So what's your take on this, Alpha Juliet? These are these airplanes are
Iconic.
yes, iconic aircraft.
For sure. They've, as we just talked about, they've been around for almost 80 years now. But they've also been creating lower and lower and lower and lower numbers every year. So the last sentence here says, the company did not disclose how many Bonanza or Baron orders remain to be delivered before the line in Wichita, Kansas closes, which means probably none. Maybe one. Being the last 2 or 3 years, they've sold a total of 2 Barons a year.
Really?
I don't think they're
They
sitting on a
probably
bunch.
don't have that many more to deliver, I would guess.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's sad.
The cool thing is that they're going to keep making parts for them, which
That's
I think is wise considering how many of them exist.
Right.
But it's also kind of interesting that they're leaving a big gap in that kind of that corner of the market. There's not a ton of certified 6-seat kind of. I don't really want to call a Bonanza entry level airplane, but it's far more entry level than a TBM or a PC-12 or something bigger and turboprop and more complicated. So there's
Like
not a
Cherokee
huge stepping
6.
stone.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Well, yeah, and even those are out of production, right?
Yeah, they're not in production
So,
either.
I don't know if there's anything currently being built that kind of does that stepping stone between the Piper Archer or whatever it's called now, the TXI or whatever, and the 6, 8, 9 seat single pilot airplanes. That's a big gap. So to go from going 120, 130 knots to 250 knots with a jet engine strapped to the front of your airplane. So it's interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going to start filling in with the way Mosaic has worked and getting some new experimentals and that widening out. I've seen a few 6-seat experimentals that have started to kind of get some traction, which I thought was pretty interesting. Mainline Micah has a question here. Do they still make the V-tail Bonanza? No, they have not made the V-tail Bonanza since the 50s. It'd be a Nick Camacho question for sure, but I think it was in the early mid 50s they stopped making the V-tail and went to a standard tail.
How about the Cirrus, also from Main Man Micah? Isn't Cirrus looking at a 6-seater? Yeah, they're looking over at the Baron on the ramp. And
With envy.
you mean the company
as they
making
go across the ramp, they look at a lot of 6-seaters.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Cirrus Aircraft Corporation and what
the
their
Vision
plans
Jet
are.
is 5 seats.
I think it's 5 seat.
Yeah.
It might be 6 if 2 of them are like small children. I can't remember for sure.
Well, I think you can only fill up all the seats if most of
they're
them
all
are small children.
Small children, yeah. It's not very large inside.
Great. It's great for the school run. Not good for vacation.
Right. And then someone asked about Cessna 210. I was trying to look at the website to see if they're still in production.
I don't think the 210 is still in
So the
I'm not
210
sure.
is a single engine, right? They make a pressurized version and a non-pressurized version, and it's a
correct. I think
pretty big
they stopped
engine
making
on
the
it.
210 pressurized a while back.
So what are they making? Then what is their lineup? Oh, wait a minute. No, Cessna. We're
That's
talking
Cessna.
Cessna, so that's
Correct.
They mentioned another plane there in the
Well,
article. They were going to focus on something.
That's the Denali.
Denali, there you
Which
What
is
is the
a
Denali?
9,
I don't even know what that is.
It's a 9-seat turboprop. It looks very, very similar to a PC-12.
Okay.
So like I said, that's what I was kind of mentioning about the massive gap between your training early aircraft and your, I want to own this airplane and use it for flying life aircraft. There's now a big space of, at least for things that are currently in production. There's a lot of used aircraft out there, obviously. I have never in my life flown a new aircraft. Flown relatively recent aircraft, but never a brand new one.
No, me neither.
What is this
I always
brand
wait
new
until they're about
aircraft thing
50
that you-
years old.
What is this concept?
What is this brand new aircraft you talk about? I've flown aircraft that have like had refurbished interiors, and they kind of get that new aircraft smell a little bit.
Oh
but
yeah.
It's
That's like new.
like new. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. The other interesting thing about the Denali, it was originally badged as a Cessna. Because it's all of this is owned by the Textron umbrella.
Textron.
So it was
okay.
the
Right,
Cessna
right.
Denali, and I think they unveiled it in like 2015 or 2016 at Oshkosh, and then all of a sudden it's a Beechcraft. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, according to Tim Van Ram, who is a new solo student pilot, he says pretty sure that John Deere makes a very nice 210. Okay.
But how many passengers does it take through the sky, Tim Van Ram?
And what is
Depends
a
on
210?
how fast you get it going with that hayride on the back.
John, is that a tractor from John Deere?
That's a
Is that what the
tractor.
210
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Okay. I know they make a lot of different types of vehicles at John Deere, but yeah. Okay. Well, very good. Well, not very good. I guess it's very bad.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, kind of sad. Okay. All right. Let's continue then with our next news item. And Dr. Steph, you want to maybe set this up? I have some video to play, which kind of covers
we can,
the thing pretty
we can set it
nicely.
up. This is a final report out of Australia from their ATSB about an incident that happened, I think, back in September. It involved a skydiving aircraft, which is why I'll be talking about it after we watch some of this video that you have. But I'm not sure where we have the video teed up, but if it's the YouTube one, it's kind of lengthy, and there are some good nuggets in it. It's not necessary to watch all of it, though, probably.
Yeah, it's actually just a little over 3 minutes, and we
okay.
thought, yeah, why not
We'll just
go
watch the
ahead
whole thing
and
then.
watch
Sure.
the whole thing. Yeah.
The ATSB's final report into the Premature parachute opening involving a Cessna 208
How
Caravan highlights the importance for parachutists to be mindful of their handles, particularly when exiting the aircraft. On the morning of the 20th of September 2025, a Cessna 208 took off from Tully Airport in far north Queensland to conduct parachute operations with 17 parachutists on board. After the aircraft climbed to about 15,000 feet, the pilot signalled to the parachutists to exit. A camera operator stepped out onto a small step and held onto the fuselage aft of the cabin door. As the first parachutist stepped out of the door to assume the most forward front float position, their reserve parachute inadvertently deployed, dragging the parachutist backwards and dislodging the camera operator into freefall. The parachutist's legs were injured as they struck and damaged the aircraft's horizontal stabilizer. Their canopy wrapped around the horizontal stabilizer and the elevator, suspending them beneath the aircraft. 13 skydivers exited the aircraft and 2 remained in the doorway, watching as the parachutist used a hook knife to cut sufficient reserve parachute lines to enable the parachute to tear free. The parachutists then deployed their main parachute, which tangled with the remnants of the reserve canopy. However, they were able to untangle the lines and regain sufficient control of the main parachute to land without further incident. Despite control difficulties due to substantial damage to the horizontal stabilizer and part of the reserve canopy wrapped around the tail, the pilot safely landed the aircraft back at Tully Airport. The ATSB's investigation found that as the first parachutists climbed out of the aircraft and into the front float position, their reserve handle snagged on the aircraft's flap, resulting in the deployment of the reserve parachute. Although not contributing to the accident, the investigation also found the pilot and aircraft operator did not ensure the aircraft was loaded within its weight and balance envelope. Investigator in charge, Seraphine, said the parachutist had clipped open the roller door before exiting the aircraft, increasing safety for the pilot.
As a result, the roller door remained open during the descent, increasing the ease with which the pilot could have exited the aircraft if they needed to. And although not mandatory at the time of the accident, the parachutists had a hook knife attached to their chest strap, enabling them to cut enough reserve parachute lines for the parachute to tear free of the tailplane.
This accident highlights the importance of parachutists being mindful of their handles, particularly when exiting the aircraft.
Carrying a hook knife secured to the parachute container could be life-saving in the event of a premature reserve parachute deployment. This investigation is also a reminder for pilots conducting parachute operations of the importance of wearing an emergency parachute and knowing how to deploy it. Parachute aircraft operators should also ensure, where possible, that there is a suitable open door for the pilot to exit in the event of an irretrievable loss of aircraft control.
You can read the final report by searching AO-2025-057 on the ATSB's website, by the link below or via the link in our bio.
Or you can go to our show notes and you'll find it there. A lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yes.
Was it just me, or did that woman from the ATSB not move a single muscle in the upper 3/4 of her head?
She's just very professional, very, stoic, very, she's not putting any emotion into her objective report.
Absolutely accurate. There was zero emotion at all. Sorry,
I think Stephanie earlier, before we started recording, showed more emotion than this lady.
Just a frustration with my audio issues, which are not,
I think you can show more emotion with your left nostril than that woman can show.
Now everybody's going to be focused on Steph's left nostril. Okay.
I am very good at talking with my facial features and muscles.
Yes, you are.
So yes.
You are. So tell us, what's your take on this, Steph?
So it's actually, this is a very illustrative incident, and it's nice that there's so much video of it, of everything that happens, because so they clearly had a GoPro mounted underwing, which captured all of this video in real time, which was nice to see. And then the jumper, the parachutist who had the incident, also had a camera mounted to his helmet, so you could see, in real time, him using the hook knife to release those reserve lines from the horizontal stabilizer of the aircraft, and then also what happened with his main parachute when he deployed his main parachute, how it got entangled with the remnants of the reserve as well. So a whole bunch of stuff going on here. These are very well known, talked about, and semi-rehearsed hazards. So any skydiver will tell you that, especially in the airplane, exiting the airplane, number one concern is protecting your handles. If you're not watching that video, what they're referring to, on the front of your skydiving rig, there are two handles. Those are for basically if there is something malfunction with your main parachute most of the time. After you're already out of the airplane, you've done your skydive, there's a release for your main parachute on the bottom of the container that you actually will pull out or throw out to get the pilot chute to inflate and extract the main parachute. But if you have a malfunction of some sort, that canopy is not good to fly. You go through a series of emergency procedures, which are well rehearsed, which includes looking down at if you're able to, at your skydiving rig. On the right side, there's a handle that you'll pull, which actually is a cutaway system to release the main canopy. And then the one on the left side is the one to make sure that your reserve parachute deploys. So in this case, what the video is showing is that there's a first skydiver who gets out on the actually on the back step. There's a little step there. So people who are doing videography or filming a skydive often will use that camera step. And then the parachutist who had the incident was getting into kind of a front float position at the front of the door. I have no idea why. It looked like he was almost trying to climb on top of the wing there. I have no idea where he was trying to go. That's not something that we would normally do.
It's almost like he was trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There might have been something happening on the other side, but it was kind of an odd way to exit the aircraft. And we do practice aircraft exits as well. Like we have mock-ups of the door so that you can practice maneuvering in that size space with your gear on. So you know how to protect not only the handles, which are on the front, but on the back of the parachute, there's 2 flaps, one for the main parachute and one for the reserve parachute. And if those become dislodged, that's where the pins are. And that's another way that you can have premature deployment of either parachute. So very mindful of all of those things, make sure that everything is secured and safely stowed. But in this, you can actually very clearly see where as he is maneuvering to position himself for wherever he wants to be for this exit, he brushes his left handle up against basically the flap or the exterior of the airplane. That dislodges that handle, and he has a reserve deployment, which is a very quick event. So it's attached to a spring, and that deployment happens very quickly. So you can see as soon as he touches that handle and it comes dislodged, that reserve parachute basically spring loads out the back there, knocks the other jumper off of the step, and then he's on his skydive and pulls him with such force that his feet come up backwards, and you can see his legs hit the horizontal stabilizer there, which I bet that did not feel good at all. Left a mark on the airplane too. A pretty big mark on the airplane.
On both, I would imagine.
Yeah. So, a lot of things to be learned from this. We have our safety day coming up in March again. So I'm sure we'll be showing this video and talking about it in great detail, because these are the types of things that we know about, we talk about, want to make sure don't happen, want to make sure that less experienced jumpers, newer jumpers are aware of. All of our pilots are very aware of this potential type of situation or scenario. In our caravan, we're not. So our regulations do not require us to wear a bailout rig or an emergency parachute. In smaller aircraft here in the U.S., typically, yes, like a 208 or not a 182. We use bailout rigs for those. So just because the risk of aircraft damage in a situation like this is going to be more likely to render the aircraft unflyable. That's the word I was looking for, thanks, in a smaller airplane. But I mean, you can kind of see there was definitely damage to the aircraft, but the aircraft remained straight and level. It didn't look like he was having too great of control issues, although don't really know just based on the video there. So
I was going to say, looking at all the video, I'm thinking, wow, I mean, too bad that all of the accidents that we talk about on the show don't have that kind of video covered. In fact, toward the end, the shot of the parachutist landing on I'm thinking, oh, that's got to be AI or recreated or whatever. And no, that's actually the real footage from that.
So in skydiving, there's a lot of video. Skydivers take a lot of video of themselves doing stuff in the sky. So anytime there is an incident, often we do get video to look at and learn from. It's kind of uncommon that there is a camera situated under the wing. We do it sometimes just for collecting promotional video and things like that. So they may have been doing something along those lines. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's nice that it was there in this instance so we could see what happened.
I'm glad it was there.
Yeah.
Really made for,
They mentioned a couple of other things, going to 15,000 feet. And if you actually read through the report, needing to have oxygen on board, which, or for the pilots, we only go to 14,000 feet. Another interesting thing, and this is something we talk about in journalism a lot, where the picture of the aircraft is not the one that is involved in the incident. This particular aircraft, I am like 99% sure from what I've looked at online, is just a Cessna 208. It is not a 208B or Bravo or Grand Caravan. So it's the shorty version. If you look at the animation, they're actually showing a Grand Caravan.
I noticed that too. Yeah. The proximity of the door to the back of the wing.
Yeah, there's an extra window. So that's the giveaway. But
and if he'd been in a Grand Caravan, he might have never had this experience.
Might not have, because there's more length, a little bit more length there, but also I don't know how they got 17 skydivers in a shorty caravan. We take 15 max, and that's
didn't they say
tight.
That was over?
It was out of weight and balance.
Or the weight,
yeah.
Well, the ATSB should know better about when they're doing their graphics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was a little surprised that came from a regulatory or a body. But anyway, that aside, I just wanted to point that out.
At least it had the wing in the right place.
It did have the wing. It was the right.
Some credit.
It was the right family of aircraft. I'll give them that.
Metrodoc says, I bet all jumpers will be carrying knives after seeing this.
So highly recommended. I have a hook knife. we do want people to carry hook knives, not only for this type of situation, which is thankfully very rare, but entanglement with other jumpers potentially, if you're doing any canopy relative work. Certainly I think a lot of people saw the recent 104-way canopy record that happened in Florida, where they do high deployments and then they build this formation, which basically ends up looking like a big diamond out of 104 skydivers. So they're actually like intentionally touching each other's canopies, wrapping their legs around lines. They all have hook knives because entanglements are a big thing there. We actually have a knife secured above the door in our aircraft because other types of entanglements can occur in the airplane, like with seatbelts and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So knives are a good call. Yes, I have a hook knife.
If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving is not for you. That's from Tim Van Ram. Yeah,
Classic.
good point.
Valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Very good. Well,
Great.
I'm glad we had an expert like Dr. Steph with us, both a very experienced skydiver and also a skydiver pilot.
yes.
A jumper dumper.
You know, it was interesting because this final report, I think, came out today or yesterday. So it showed up in a couple of my skydiving forums and chat groups and whatnot again, even though I was looking at it, I'm like, I think this already happened. And then, yeah, sure enough, this was the final report. But, you know, Stefan sent it to us as well. And he flies skydivers too. So it's making the rounds, good for us to know about. Stuff that we don't want to have happen in our
I'm not a skydiver, and I still got it texted and emailed to me like 4 times today.
Have you seen this?
A shout out to Michelle or Michael DePrez for a member of our APG community that sent that in to us for us to cover. Michelle.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we should do some getting to know us. What do you think, Liz?
Yes, sir.
All right. There we go. This is the time of the show where we're going to get to know what has been going on between episodes. From our panelists here, Alpha Juliet and Dr. Steph. So I don't know which one of you would like to go first. I have a feeling that Steph will say, AJ, I nominate him.
Yeah,
I was going to nominate AJ because I need...
So, okay, she already got to go first.
All right, we'll stand by. How do I remember what I've been doing in the past week? I go back and look at my photos to make sure I don't forget
Literally
anything.
what I was just doing.
All right. So I've got my photos here, and the answer is not much. It's mostly been work, so I'm sorry it's a little bit of a boring update. I was supposed to fly jumpers last weekend, but our weather was terrible. It was not the nice blue skies that we just saw in that video. We had like 200 overcast ceilings and quarter-mile visibility for like 4 days in a row with fog and rain, like mist and some freezing fog even every like overnight once.
It's not a great time of year for weather.
It was gross. It was not great. So I did some running instead. Had a nice training run on Saturday with my local run club. We did 16 miles of hills and all kinds of enjoyment at 5 a.m. because we don't like ourselves, I don't think. But we had a bit of a fun run on Sunday. Usually we'll do a run that ends at a coffee shop so we can sit around and chat and drink coffee after a nice, easy run. But one of our members organized a poker run. So what he did was he went out along our usual 3-mile route and put up little QR codes at different businesses or intersections and stuff. And as you run, you have an app and then you scan the QR code. And for each QR code, you get a card, which you build a poker hand out of. And you're playing in real time with your fellow runners. And it's all just, luck, but it kind of keeps track. And then it's a nice way for everyone to run together and have a little bit of a social event.
And you're looking at your
prizes.
cards and then you run into a tree or something.
Yeah, basically.
It's not very safe.
Yeah. I got my Christmas decorations up.
Yay.
Good.
Yeah. I cut down a tree that was growing next to my dock because it can't continue to grow there. And I put it up also in my rec room. And the branches are too thin to really hold any real ornaments. So I just tied a red balloon to the top of it, like Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't wait until next year, though, to get that tree because it's so tall that it actually touches my ceiling already, even though it's a young, immature, kind of smaller, scrawny looking tree.
Immature, like tells dad jokes or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else.
And if you'll send those pics so that we can put them in our show notes so everybody can look at them and see what you're talking about, that'd be great.
All right.
Or maybe
they're not
maybe
that interesting.
Okay, well.
I have a picture of people standing around looking at a
Well, you don't have to send the whole library.
No, not the whole library, but that's how I remember what was going on. I took, you
Yeah.
know, I have like this picture of, you know, everyone standing around in the fog looking at a QR code to scan. I mean, it's not that exciting. So.
Well, I mean, depends. You know, if you don't have a very exciting life, then maybe that is exciting. You know,
Jeff
it's exciting to me.
Picture standing around in the fog.
All right,
I don't. I don't have any pictures at all.
I'll send you some pictures.
I'm always in a fog.
And then you, dear listener, can decide if they are exciting or boring.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Very good. Thanks, Steph. Good to see you. AJ.
Right. I just saw this comment from Tim. I had to put it up there. How does a blind parachuter know when he's close to the ground? The dog's lead goes slack.
Lead goes slack. Oh,
that's terrible.
That is bad. But that's, you know, par for the course with Tim.
It checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the past week or so, not a whole lot. Working and cooking and cooking and working. I got about 50% through putting up the lights on the house for Christmas and whatnot. So I have the laser show thing. It's all over the house now.
Don't get any of those lasers in the pilot's eyes.
Well, one of them points straight up. It's
oh, great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You definitely won't get any complaints from, you know, local pilots or anything.
No.
But yeah, other than that, just normal working and cooking. So
all right. Very good.
Kind of boring.
And my getting to know us will be tomorrow with Captain Nick.
Now
And
there's a reason to tune in.
And there is a reason to tune in. Yeah, no, it's not going to be any more interesting tomorrow than it is at this moment.
No, just do something interesting tonight, will you? So
I'll have to go out and do something interesting. Okay, yeah.
We're an exciting bunch this week.
Hey, it's the holiday season. Everybody's like focused on other things, you know, a lot of other things going on in our life, our lives. All right, very good. So I guess with that. You know, should I do the coffee fund right now or should I wait till tomorrow to do that?
Yeah, you can do the coffee fund.
Yeah, let's do the coffee fund. All right, here we go. So I'm going to hit this button right here. It's the coffee fund jingle.
Johnny, how much more coffee? No thanks.
And then Dr. Steph is going to sing the coffee fund jingle. Tea. I love the APG community. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Oh, yeah, the coffee fund. Thanks. It was very nice, Dr. Steph. Thank you. The coffee fund is your way to support our show financially. And let's see, a couple of different ways to do that. One is the Coffee Fund Classic method, and the other is the Patreon method. You can become a patron of the show. But we're going to talk about the Classic method first. And since our last episode, we have Mazus Karim. Dr. Karim sent in his monthly donation along with George Hollis. And Mike Smith, just out of the blue, our Sonic pilot. Well, I don't know if he's former Sonic pilot or not. I know that he was working on a new experimental aircraft. I'm not sure what the status is of that. Maybe he'll send us in some feedback and tell us how that's all going. But Mike Smith up in, I think it's Maynard, Massachusetts, sent us a very nice holiday generation. I'm sorry, what?
Isn't it Brainerd? Oh, no, that's
No.
Minnesota. No.
Well, there's a,
Okay.
yeah.
Go on.
Anyway.
Carry on.
So my producer is distracting me.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, now the whole jingle's over. Oh, well. We can also talk about Patreon. You can become a patron of the show. And Tom Tordel sends us a lot of feedback. Thank you, Tom. And he sent me a note saying, oh, something happened with his credit card or something. He is apologizing. And so I looked on Patreon, and Patreon seems to think that you're just a brand new patron of our show. So we're gonna treat it like that.
there.
So we're gonna give you some recognition. You're an executive producer, Tom. You knew that, of course. And so thank you so much for that, for signing up as an executive producer. And I guess maybe that's just an idea or something to think about for those of you who have been longtime patrons of the show. Maybe check to make sure that your credit card information and all that kind of stuff is still up to date. And if it's not, that's okay. Yeah. So whatever. We do the show for free, as we always say, and we enjoy doing it. And it just makes it even better when we have people to support us financially. It gives us more incentive to keep doing what we're doing. And there you go. So if you're interested in learning more about the Coffee Fund, head over to airlinepilotguy.com/coffee. You'll be glad you did. We will too.
Now, speaking of Tom, he's the feedback we're going to cover. He sent
Is he?
feedback.
Okay. Well, speaking of Tom, okay. Let me hit the feedback bumper then.
Captain, incoming message.
All right. So speaking of Tom, our new patron, executive producer, he sent us some feedback, some video feedback. And he said, follow the bouncing Cessna. And he says, wow, wonder what the cost of that fun ride was. Will someone please replace the seat cushions?
Watch as this Cessna 441 falls like a stock price in a financial crash, hitting the runway with such vertical speed it's bouncing like a f***ing rubber ball down a metal surface road. That is unbelievable. PF is a f***ing Egypt. All they've managed to do, luckily, is get those engines into reverse pitch. The nose wheel is shimmying like a belly dancer at a festival. The pilot flying needs to make themselves scarce, because there are any passengers in that aeroplane, they're going to have a full and frank expression of views with them, I tell you.
Wow, that was some great commentary.
Colorful language, and
yes.
But I think appropriate to the video we were watching.
Yeah, I think so too. And I was noticing that nose wheel. So fortunately, we have our shimmy damper specialist.
I'm ready to read you some very detailed technical information.
Yes,
about
have you had a few IPAs?
I have not.
Oh well, that's not going to be any good.
So we can't do that tonight.
No.
And we have our resident belly dancer. He was talking about belly dance.
Oh yeah, our librarian, APG librarian, is also a belly dancer. So maybe Tiffany can send us some feedback and let us know what she thinks about the comment about the belly dancer.
There's some sort of technical information about belly dancing too, so we can just blend it with the shimmy damper.
Yeah.
And
wow,
yeah.
What a combination that would be.
Wouldn't one cancel out the other though?
Shimmy dancer, belly dancer.
Possibly.
I think one is I think they're both pretty smooth.
Shimmy dancing, shimmy belly dancer.
But it's like the sine wave, like opposing sine waves, like cancel each other or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what else to say about that. Obviously, the landing it looked like. I mean, most of the time, I think it's advised that you actually flare. Before you hit
we've seen other pilots use a similar technique of there is a technique of just not flaring and attempting to if you can get a hole deep enough in the runway, it'll actually stay down.
Can we look at it again just one more time?
How much you want to bet one of that pilot's passengers as they were deplaning?
Watch as this Cessna 441.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said, how much do you want to bet that one of the passengers on that plane, if there were any, when they were deplaning, asked the pilot if they were a former Navy pilot?
No,
I bet they didn't, because they were unconscious.
But had they been conscious,
minor brain injury.
If they had been conscious, I'm sure that they would have said
Navy pilot.
Navy pilot.
Navy pilot.
Yeah.
They got put on tumble dry with the couple bottles of champagne bouncing around in the back of that cabinet.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see it again.
Well, let's see this again then.
One falls like a stock price in a financial crash, hitting the runway with such vertical speed it's bouncing like a f***ing rubber ball down a metal surface road. That is unbelievable. PF is a f***ing Egypt. All they've managed to do, luckily, is get those engines into reverse pitch. The nose wheel is shimmying like a belly dancer at a festival. The pilot flying needs to make themselves scarce, because there are any passengers in that aeroplane, they're going to have a full and frank expression of views with them, I tell you.
Full and frank expression of views.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't think we can even add anything to that. I think,
Yeah.
dear listener, you get the picture of what happened there. And
I mean, just for devil's advocate, I wonder if there was some sort of a control issue because of how much down elevator was in the entire time.
Oh, really? I wasn't paying attention to it, so it was
looks
down
like
the
it's
whole way.
Yeah.
pretty significantly down throughout the remainder of that.
Now,
From the first hit to the
I'm
rollout.
writing this one down. This is definitely a potential show.
Here's a potential show title: Shimmy, Shimmy, Cessna, Stop.
Shimmy, shimmy, Chestnut stop.
Okay.
You could, like,
Thank you, Metro.
put it
I
into
like
that
this
song.
comment
Yeah.
by Neil Lanmore.
Neil in our live audience says the Venn intersection of belly dancers and librarians can't be too large.
I actually
That's
had the
true.
same thought.
Yeah.
Great minds, Neil.
Interesting. Is that the way you spell Venn? Huh.
Two N's,
Cool.
capital V.
Wow. Okay.
How would you spell Venn?
I mean, in my mind, it was just VEN, but is there a person named Venn? Is that what it's named for? Must be. Somebody.
Have a look.
Steph! Look it up.
Named after mathematician John Venn.
There we go.
That's what I said. John Venn.
Man,
Steffi's a
I love
faster
this show. I
typist
learned
than
so
I am.
much. I learned so much well, not that much, but I learned a little
The
bit.
Venn diagram
each and every
of pilots
week.
that understand the spelling of Venn diagrams.
Yes, is a very tiny little piece. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, that is going to do it.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up part one.
A few moments later.
And as I mentioned earlier, we have somebody joining us for part 2 from his Garden View studio in
Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
a retired professional dog shooter, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, unemployed Airbus A330, A340, exceedingly ex-senior captain for Virgin Over-the-Pond Airways. It's Captain Nick. That's just too much. I have to do something
Yeah, I
about
know.
that.
We should trim that down a bit.
Yeah.
Along with my waistline, if you don't mind.
Okay.
This is show 688, isn't it, Jeff?
It is.
Well, there you go. Now, originally there was a Mark 5B model Spitfire. Not model, it's a 5B model, if you see what I mean. Anyway, it was a Spitfire. Registration, Bravo Lima 688. Made in the Castle Bromwich factory and delivered to RF Cosford in 1942. It saw storied and extensive service history with various allied units, including the US Navy. Well, how the hell they got hold of it, I don't know. And the Polish squadrons that were fighting with the British in the UK. It was attached to the 335th Eagle Squadron of the USAF, before it was the USAF. And later by 501 Squadron, where it was primarily flown by a free French pilot. It really had quite a distinguished career, but perhaps its most significant role was with number 63 Squadron and VCS 7 US Navy during the D-Day landings in June 44. Flew numerous low-level forward air control sorties over Normandy beaches, spotting for naval gunfire support. Now, in 1945, after the war in Europe had finished, 688 crashed during a training flight near Bury in Lancashire, killing its pilot, a 20-year-old Polish sergeant, sadly. Now, the RAF recovered the remains and, it sat there in, the corner of a hangar somewhere until it was purchased by Parnell Aircraft Company, a British restoration group, and is now registered as Golf Charlie Juliet Whiskey Oscar and is undergoing a meticulous restoration to airworthy condition. So eventually, if we're lucky, we will get a chance to see Bravo Lima 688 fly again. Wouldn't that be marvellous?
It would be marvelous for sure.
That was just like a mini plane
Wow.
tail there.
Yeah, it was almost as long as a plane tail, actually.
Oh, God, no, please.
Just kidding.
Hold me back.
All right, very good. 688. Okay, this is 688 part 2. And AJ and Dr. Steph have departed. They're still living. They're still living, but they're just not with us anymore on the show. Yeah. So
we heard from them today.
This is a day later. We're recording on Friday now, the 12th of December, and we've been joined now by the very noteworthy Captain Nick Anderson. Esteemed, yes, very very good.
Esteemed
adjective,
Captain.
Yeah. Anyway, so what we decided we're going to do, that we're going to hit another couple of news items, get caught up with Captain Nick and myself, and then hit some feedback, hopefully, and then we'll end the show. So, you ready to start with the first news item for part 2?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to add this to the stage. We've got some video here. Let's see. This is from the Aviation Herald, and actually, well, who sent this in to us, Liz? It says it's like a feedback thing. Hi, Jeff, Liz, and all.
Derek Ralston.
Oh, okay. Where do you see that? I don't even see that.
In between the pictures, underneath the video.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Derek. All right. So Derek sent this in, this YouTube video, and so let me hit the play button here. And we can watch together. You'll remember this Westjet Boeing 737-800 was landing at St. Martin on September 7th, 2025, and the left main gear collapsed. And we talked about the preliminary report and the investigation, yada, yada, yada. And let's see.
I'm watching that left main gear very closely to see how well they fixed it.
What do you think so far? So good.
It hasn't fallen off or anything.
Probably Canadian workmanship, so it's probably pretty questionable.
Oh, that's true. Hadn't thought of that. So let's keep a close eye on this as they begin their takeoff roll in St. Martin. This is a test flight that we're watching, and we won't watch the entire thing because it'll take too much of our time. But anyway, so there they go. But yeah, so that was like little over 3 months. That was pretty quick for them to make this repair, and looks like it's back in service. So, and there it goes. It's lifting off. And
will it retract? Is the next question. Hey, look at that.
Looks like it's retracted. Both engines are still running. That's good.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well done, boys. Well done, Canadian engineers. Good job.
Very nice. And it flies off into the sunset. There we go.
Hooray.
So thank you, Derek, for sending that in to give us an update on that WestJet 737. So, hey, some good news to start off with.
Yeah.
I know. It's pretty rare, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Nick's going to take over.
Yeah, let's take this next news item, and I'm going to hand it off. I'm going to give aircraft control to Captain Nick because this one is just baffling to me. Okay.
It's baffling me too.
Okay.
We were commenting just a little while ago in the preamble before we started the show how hard it is to keep your head around exactly how everything on a complicated airliner like an Airbus or a Mad Dog works, and how quickly it all drops out from your head. So I'm finding this particular story difficult to fathom, but I think partly because there were some awful decisions and actions taken by the crew. Yeah. So what have we got? We've got an Arabia Maroc A320 at Catania, yes, on the 20th of September, 25. And registration, Charlie November Mike Lima, performing flight 3 Oscar 991 to Amman in Jordan. Had 4 crew and was departing on runway 8 when shortly after takeoff, the crew received a GPS pull-up message about 1.9 miles past the end of the runway. And the aircraft climbed through 500 feet and continued on without further incident. However, an awful lot happened in that first 500 feet, including the fact that they very nearly didn't get anywhere near 500 feet. Okay, so they got this ground proximity warning message, and so according to the ATSB data, the aircraft initially climbed to about 350 feet, and about 0.3 of a mile past the runway, and when it descended to about 230 feet, now that is obviously plus or minus about 25 feet from ATSB. So what was going on? Italy's ANSV released a preliminary report summarizing the sequence of events, and this is because it's just there in plain data, no explanations. This is where I struggled a bit to work out what was going on. So what can we say? What can we pluck from this? The aircraft was on a positioning flight, took off. Shortly after, it began to descend and the GPWS was triggered. The aircraft trajectory was recovered when it was close to the sea surface. So I think they mean that the crew pulled out of a descent when it was close to the sea surface, and the minimum recorded radio altitude was 41 feet.
Could you repeat that again?
41 feet, 12 and a half meters. That's how close it got to the sea. So you're going, what on earth was going on? And I'm struggling here to make sense of exactly what happened. So the aircraft was lined up for takeoff, and the data allowed to establish the pilot in command, as the bloke with 4 stripes on his shoulder, was the pilot flying. Now, both flight directors were engaged, but there were no associated modes on the FMA, the enunciator that indicates where all the modes are. And it's one of the things you read out all the time in Airbuses. Whenever there's a mode change, you read out that top line on your primary display so that everyone knows what mode. And it's very important in an aircraft like the Airbus, where the different flight modes really do define what the aircraft is going to do. They mentioned that it was doing config 1+F takeoff, which is probably the minimum flap setting you would use. And the center of gravity was 24.8. Doesn't mean anything much to me. It's a 320. I didn't fly them anyway, but that's just a number. And the stab position, so the trim position, was minus 0.8 nose up. Now, the thrust levers were moved initially to flex. Now, what is interesting... Oh, I missed out a bit there. The takeoff speeds, McDo entries, are not included in the recorded parameters. And I think that's quite important, because I think we are about to find out that they hadn't bothered to enter any numbers in the takeoff numbers. They probably calculated them, but they didn't put them in the box, or perhaps
it's just a positioning flight. It doesn't matter.
Don't need to worry about all those formalities. No. So they initially moved the thrust levers to flex, but I suspect because they hadn't entered a flex temperature, I don't know this for sure because we haven't got all the data, the aircraft would have gone, I don't have any data. Don't just put the throttles to flex because you haven't told me what flex temperature to use. So it would have come up with a warning. So at about 50 knots, the captain pushed them all the way up to Toga. So at least he knew he was getting enough thrust to take off. So that's fine. And the flight directors went into runway mode. All that means is they're just going to be doing runway heading. SRS, which is the mode which gives you the pitch for your takeoff, was not engaged, and auto thrust was not armed because I don't think there was any data for the automatics to use. Anyway, during the takeoff run, between sort of quite low speeds, 127 and 144 knots, while no side stick input was put in by the captain, but the nose landing gear uncompressed twice. Now, this indicates to me that the nose is trying to lift off, which also indicates to me that if there's no input from the stick, you've got a rather weird, you must have a slightly incorrect trim setting. And I think they had the trim set to nose up because the airplane's trying to lift its nose well before normal rotate speed. So I'm going, I wonder if they've done their trim calculations correctly. Anyway, they initiated a rotation.
At all.
Don't know. Don't know. But we're getting the feeling now that this was a bit of an ad hoc takeoff. And it's just not something you can do on an airplane like the Airbus. You just can't climb in and wing it. It just doesn't work that way. So they rotated 144 knots and lifted off at 157. That's pretty good. Pitch initially +7. Well, we normally go smoothly within 3 seconds all the way up to about 12 degrees, but they didn't quite get there. Yes, the airspeed was increasing, so they got 167 knots, and they're flying now at 37 feet. They whack the gear up. Now, what is quite interesting is that there's no data for the aircraft to follow. No data for the autopilot to follow, no data for the flight directors to follow. So they're just climbing away at about 1,500 feet a minute, which is okay. That's fine. And the lateral mode changes from runway to nav, but I don't know if they've actually got any navigation to follow.
They probably didn't put anything in that either.
Yeah. So they're continuing to climb up. They're in vertical speed, which is an unusual mode. Normally you'd be in climb mode once you've done thrust reduction after takeoff. But they're in vertical speed because the airplane doesn't really know what else to do. They eventually pitch up to a maximum of 11 degrees. And the side stick input at the time was increased then to 9 degrees pitch down. Now I'm going, what the devil is going on? They're climbing away. They're not that high. And the captain's gone pitch down to 9 degrees pitch down.
How high above the ground was he at that point?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't quite...
123 feet.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's pretty awful. Okay, but it... oh, yeah, there it is. RA, 123 feet. Anyway, right, as they... it says now... we've magically moved forward now to 309 feet RA, and they're doing 188 knots, and they're back to a positive climb now at 1,400 feet a minute. And pitch 7 degrees down was commanded from the captain's side stick. So I don't know if he's doing this. I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing.
Something flip, we talked about that bit flip thing in a previous episode. Maybe his brain is doing a bit flip.
Oh, yeah, perhaps it's all the solar radiation coming down on his head.
Yeah.
So they've got up to about 200 knots now. They're kind of more or less level. They're cleaning the aircraft up, while pitch down command of 7.2 degrees was still observed on the captain's side stick. Very odd. So they're still accelerating, still descending now at 1,200 feet a minute. And the pitch down command still observed on the captain's side stick. So they eventually end up with a vertical speed target of 1,900 feet a minute going down, and then 2,064 feet a minute going down. And during the time frame, Autopilot 1 was engaged. So they've put an autopilot in. Now, if you had told the autopilot what you wanted to do, it'll just carry on doing where you left it, if you haven't got a profile in there. So the autopilot is going to continue to make the airplane descend at this point if you engage it, because you were descending when you gave it control. The vertical speed goes to minus 2,320, and the speed rises to 230 knots. They do a thrust reduction. And at that point, someone pulls the throttles back from toga into a position behind. Well, there are sort of some fixed positions for the throttles in an Airbus. There's the one all the way forward, which is toga. Then there's flex MCT. Then there's climb. And then if you come all the way back, there's idle. And they pulled it between idle and climb for 1 second and then whacked it back up to toga again.
It was like their brain is going, oh, we're going too fast. So here, let me pull the power back. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I think I know why we're going fast. It's because we're going downhill, down toward the water.
Indeed. Having said that, there are some modes which can be reset by doing that throttle action, by pulling the throttles back and back to toga again. So perhaps that was in his mind. Needless to say, they were still going down. They've still got this horrendous rate of descent. I'm going, what is going on? Don't forget, this happened in sort of only a couple of miles of forward travel. This is all happening very quickly. They got to 162 feet on the radio altimeter. Toga was applied. They were now nearly 250 knots. And the VS minus 2,400. This is just a litany of what the hell is going on. They then get a GPWS parameter triggered for 4 seconds. The speed was nearly 270 knots. Vertical speed now only minus 544. Pitch 7 degrees. Momentary pitch down followed by a pitch up command observed from the captain's side stick. I've no idea why he had been pitching down, but at last he's decided it's time to get away from the water.
Good idea.
Yep. The speed is still a bit out of control, and the pitch up was observed from the captain's side stick, and he went 2/3 of full deflection, which, fair enough. But considering we know they got to 41 feet from the water, I think it might have had full backstick, but there you go. We're kind of running out of data here because now they got down to their 41 feet at 21:57 and 19 seconds. And the pitch up command was observed from the captain's side stick to 8.6 degrees at 41 feet. They got themselves into a climb, auto thrust and open climb mode were engaged at 700 odd feet. And they got a vertical speed of plus 5,800 feet a minute because I think they frightened themselves and now decided to go up very fast.
Yeah. They had a lot of energy to work with, a lot of speed.
Indeed. They had plenty of speed, yeah. We note here, the final note, which I think is kind of amusing, the cockpit voice recorder was overwritten.
Yeah. Maybe nobody will know what happened.
I'd love to know what they were discussing at the time of all this going on.
The weather was very nice. Cav okay.
Yeah, it was.
23C, very light winds, 3 knots. And it was dark. So maybe if they had a way to see the ground and the water in front of them, they would have been more proactive.
I think you're right. Yeah, because the runway has only got a couple of miles by the looks of it before you hit the beach, and then it's just ocean. So, once they're over there, it's kind of we've fallen into the black hole, and that is a phenomena we're familiar with, the black hole effect, and it's common for airfields that have runways that go straight over the sea, and it's one area where it would be sensible for a captain to mention it in his threat and error briefing because it's a known phenomena that people, when they fly into a black hole, there's just no visual references. And don't forget, you've had visual references on the airfield and, leading up to the beach, because there are lights on the ground and lights on the runway, and you can interpret that. But all of a sudden, bang, you're into blackness, and you've really got to be on your instruments. In fact, you've got to transition to instruments just before you lose all those visual references, because you don't want to be lured into an illusionary disorientation effect. Perhaps that is what happened. I don't know. Yes, sir.
At this, let me give you a little bit of the schedule, the time, the chronological. What this took place. I should have gotten more sleep last night. I cannot speak. So, from the time that they moved the throttles initially, or the thrust levers initially, to flex, that was 21:56 and 28 seconds. The moment at which they finally got the airplane going in the proper direction, away from Earth and the water at 41 feet, and got the auto thrust and climb mode engaged, etc., and the good vertical speed of 5,800 feet per minute, was 21:57:29. So almost exactly 1 minute elapsed between the time they started their takeoff roll and all that stuff happened. And
60 seconds, golly. Yes.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling to me. And it's really kind of a miracle, I think, that we're not talking about this A320 that crashed into the water off of Catania.
Yeah, exactly right.
Can't wait for the final report.
Yeah.
Who's going to do it? The Italians. Well, they're probably going to give a good final report.
They'll give
that'll probably be quite scathing then.
Wow, that was quite something. Yeah,
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
how easy it all starts to unravel when you're not really prepared and you've perhaps skimped a bit on your pre-flight preparation because it's only a positioning flight. You don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, they don't really talk about at least what we're looking at here. I haven't actually read the actual preliminary report and the sequence of events, but I'm wondering what human factors are involved here before all of this. Why are they so rushed? Why did they not make sure that all the proper data was, inputted into all these systems? It almost feels like, oh, let's get going. We got to go. We have a time pressure on us right now. So don't worry about that stuff. This is an Airbus. You just, it'll fly. It won't let us crash. But you know what? That Airbus just about let them crash.
Oh, yeah. It will do if you ignore it.
It's not completely foolproof. No.
Good Lord, no. It's an airplane. You still got to fly the damn thing.
Right. Amazing. Well, thank you, Captain Nick, for taking that one on. All right. Oh, boy. Well, this is kind of a sad story. Oh, this is from defense-blog.com. A fatal ejection incident on Russian airbase leaves 2 dead. 2 Russian military airmen were killed in an incident involving the unexpected activation of an ejection system while their aircraft was parked in a shelter. That's not good. These are very complicated, sophisticated, smart ejection seat systems in modern fighter bomber aircraft, but they can't do anything when they're set off and you're like in a shelter. I mean, there's nothing they could possibly do to avoid hitting, right, the ceiling of this thing.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, on purpose, ejector seats are relatively simple mechanically compared with they don't have a lot of sophisticated electronics and protections and all this stuff. They're called a bang seat for a very good reason. You pull the lever and it goes bang, and that's just about all you need to worry about. There are more advanced ones, like the Aces 2 seat, which does have gyroscopes and electronic sensors. It's got pitot tubes and things to assess the conditions that you need so that it can deploy its parachutes and stuff at the correct moment. But Martin Baker, for example, who are by far the biggest manufacturer of ejector seats, still rely on the very basic technology. And I say basic, not that it's simple, it's just that it's incredibly reliable. And that's really all you want out of an ejector seat. They don't have anything fancy to orientate the seat going up. They just rely on a rocket or a gun to fire you out of the cockpit, a rocket to assist you clear, and a parachute system that deploys very quickly to ensure that you separate and then come down safely, even if you've ejected very close to the ground. But it won't save you if you're inside a concrete shelter. If you fire the damn thing, you're going to go smack into the roof. Or if you're inverted at, as very sadly some Harrier pilots in the early days found, if you've lost control of your aircraft, you try and eject, it will fire you straight into the ground. Which is what happened here.
Very sad. Very sad. Not the first time that they've had accidental firings of ejection systems, but in most cases, there's not a roof over your head to impede your progress flying upward. Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. But of course, most ejector seats have got multiple ways of safing them up. So, you've normally got pins or some kind of mechanical interlock in the firing handle to prevent it from being pulled. And then there are other pins that can be put in the sears that activate things like the gun and other explosive components to prevent them firing. So one of the things you do before you take off is make sure all those pins are removed so that when you finally make the seat live, it's going to work. But on the other hand, whenever you're in a maintenance situation or inside a hangar, you make sure that you've got the seat safe so that, this kind of accident can't happen.
I'm afraid that we're probably never going to know exactly what happened in this case. They're not even telling us what base and what aircraft. Yeah, sad story. Okay, on a lighter note, we're going to end our news segment for this part 2 with this from Paddle Your Own Canoe. Yay! It's been a while since we've heard from Mateusz Mazinski. Anyway, so, imagine yourself, you're at the grocery store and you've got a whole, shopping basket full of food and they're checking everything out and it's taking a while because you got a lot of stuff. And then it comes time for you to pay. And then you realize, I don't have my wallet with me. Or maybe you have your wallet and the only credit card you have for some reason is just not working and you don't have any cash. And so what do? Well, I don't know, maybe call in a bomb threat to the store? Would that be a reasonable thing to do? Well, okay, so let's take this into the aviation world and New Orleans airport. It is an aviation podcast, yes. So 35-year-old Corey Johnson from Louisiana was arrested on November 7 following a swift investigation by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, who had already been dealing with Johnson due to an earlier disturbance in the short-stay parking garage at MSY Airport, Mossant, New Orleans International. According to an FBI affidavit filed in a Louisiana courthouse, Johnson, this dude, tried to leave the short-stay parking garage at around 7:48 p.m. in his Jeep Grand Cherokee, but his payment card bounced, and he didn't have...
it's a Jeep driver.
Yeah, no, it's too bad we don't have Steph with us to defend this guy.
Yeah, we could have some fun, couldn't we?
Yeah. So his payment card, it wasn't a Wrangler though. In her defense, it was a Cherokee, a Grand Cherokee, which is a very nice vehicle actually. So his payment card bounced. He didn't have any other means to pay the fee. So law enforcement, is called and he's like blocking the exit lane. I mean, he's not moving. And all these people he's blocking everybody from exiting the parking garage because he doesn't have any way of paying for his parking fees. And so finally, I guess somebody convinced him to get out of the exit lane and move to the top level of this parking garage, where he was going to come up with an alternative method to pay his parking fees. And then he thought, wait a minute, I have an idea. He called the airport communication center and made a bomb threat telling the operator, "Page Hassan. If you do not page him, we have the bomb." He then repeated, "We have the bomb if you do not page him," before he disconnected the call. And that was at 9:50. At 10:35, so not quite an hour later, he placed a second call. I guess he wasn't getting the response he had expected. And he said on this occasion, he threatened the operator, telling her, "Didn't I tell you, you stupid I will cut your throat?"
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then he then said, "Page Hassan, I want him to bring the bomb to level 3. Okay. So sheriff's deputies initiated an emergency ping of the cell phone used to make both calls, which revealed that the location of the phone was near the North Terminal at Mosant, New Orleans. The cell phone number was linked to him. And so they took him into custody, and he could face a maximum penalty of 10 years imprisonment, along with a fine of up to $250,000, 3 years of supervised release, and a $100 mandatory special assessment fee. Okay. So I guess he was thinking that, if they really think that there's a bomb in the terminal, they're going to have an emergency evacuation. They're going to open up all the doors in the parking lot.
And I can just drive away.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Wow.
For that, I'm going to give up 10 years of my life.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking this through, I think, to its conclusion. But
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh, well.
Let's get to know that captain.
All right, let's get to know Captain Nick and Captain Jeff. Captain Nick.
Why don't you go first, old chap?
I'll go first then. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. First thing I want to do is, we always say our goal here is 50% accuracy. That's the goal that we're shooting for. Sometimes we hit it. Sometimes we get above. Sometimes we get below. On a couple, maybe it was the last episode. Yeah, the last episode. I was talking about those Jeppesen pages, which now aren't really pages anymore. It's all electronic, but the paper pages and the paper color of these special pages, we called them. And I was trying to explain all about that. And UH Blackhawk said the 10-7 pages. And I went, no, that's not what those are. And then when I was doing the editing, I went, oh yeah, he's right. That is what they are. They're the 10-7 pages. So I just wanted to give UH Blackhawk some credit that, he was right. 10-7. So just wanted to put that on the record there. Our official APG announcer at the beginning of each and every episode, Radio Roger, sometimes also contributes in other ways, and he sometimes sends us some feedback. And he said, "Hello, fellow crew members. Miss being in contact with you. Just found the perfect excuse for writing 2 unusual photos. Every so often, the meteorological conditions are right for the formation of contrails at an altitude used by many planes, and the wind is light, so the contrails do not disperse. We had such a day recently, and it was beautiful. Maybe we can post it in the next podcast." Yep, that's what we're doing, Roger. So Liz is showing the photos, and we'll have these in the show notes as well. I love those days where you look up, you have a beautiful clear blue sky, and then you see all those contrails.
Now, Captain Nick was talking about the other clouds that are in this picture, the little puffy clouds, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Are those actually natural clouds? Some people say natural, but I say natural, apparently.
The short duration ones, the short fat ones, they looked to me like Altocumulus lenticularis. What do you think, Jeff?
They do have that appearance for sure.
Yeah.
I guess it's possible those could be contrails too, and then they're at an altitude where the winds are a little bit stronger and kind of diffusing the contrails, and maybe the atmosphere is a little spotty.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I was chatting to Roger about it, and I did have the caveat that it's a little hard to tell from the photographs if you were there. But there are a lot of persistent trails, and there seem to be
one that curves around there.
Oh, that's rather clever. That there's a nice one that has a nice right angle in it, and then the bloke dives into the ground and crashes, presumably.
Oh shoot!
But
perhaps we shouldn't be showing that one.
No, probably not. But the little short ones, they do look like because they're lens-like. Now, lenticular clouds are formed. Any true aviator will know this by undulating airflow. So when you get a wave effect, as the airflow goes up and down, as it goes up, it cools, and you'll get clouds forming. And because of the shape of the air, the shape of the air sounds odd. Because the air is like a wave, the cloud follows the sort of form of the undulation and makes this lens shape. It's quite a pretty piece of cloud. And then as it descends back down again, of course, it warms up and the cloud stops. So you get these often circular but lens-shaped clouds called lenticular clouds. That's what they reminded me of. So I don't know if I'm right or not, but well, we will never know because other than looking at the picture.
Expert that'll weigh in.
Well, I am a cloud expert. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You mean another cloud expert?
Yes.
Or I thought you were a clown expert, not cloud expert.
That too. That too.
I thought he was talking about iCloud expert. Okay.
There you go.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's just they seem to be vaguely in line, which is what you get when you get mountain waves. I don't know if there are any mountains around or hills that would cause that, but they can, of course, depending on the conditions of the temperatures of the airflow, they can happen and carry on for hundreds of miles beyond a mountain range, still producing this up-down effect. And as aviators, we're always aware of them because if the mountain wave is severe enough, it'll cause you a lot of turbulence, make the aircraft climb and descend in that airflow, which may not be what you want to do. You could end up going up and down. So we treat those clouds with interest. Oh, yes, there's some waves down there.
In line, did you say? I mean, what in the world does Captain Nick Anderson know about anything in line? I mean, you're always out of line. That's what you're an expert in.
That's me personally. Now, the clouds, on the other hand, are better disciplined than I am.
Ah, okay.
That was very, very good.
But there are certainly some contrails, or perhaps they're chemtrails, I'm not sure, in amongst them.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Well, the next thing I want to do is say, the hills are alight with the sound of music.
Beautiful, isn't it? What a voice.
Yes.
Well,
Julie Andrews would have been proud of a voice like that.
Well, I doubt
Not
it.
if she's
I
smoking.
doubt it. But yes, Julie, I didn't realize that Julie smoked so much. We're talking, of course, about our show cover art from the last episode,
One of your best,
687. And this is pretty amazing. So I'm going to hand it off to you again to explain. Give us some context here.
Well, we had some great ideas. Carry on APG. We were talking about Sond balloons and cigarette smuggling, which is how this title came along. But in addition, there was the APG Gourmet Edition. We'd be talking about AJ's lovely cooking, Balloon Pilot Guy show, no more balloons, no more balloons. But basically, we ended up with balloons and Sond and cigarette smuggling, which they have been smuggling using balloons, which I thought was great. So, we got this lovely. I had this lovely picture in my mind of Maria there singing away in the mountains, watching her cigarettes flying away.
Singing and singing.
Exactly. So, she's having now, someone suggested that she may not be smoking tobacco. And I was going, well, come on, yeah, a nun. Even, I think the nuns generally smoked tobacco back in the 50s. So we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She's just having a quick.
I love all the musical instruments in the writing.
Oh, it's great font, isn't it? I found that online. Thank you very much indeed for whoever did that. And we were talking about sonde balloons. Now, on the packing cases, I put some rather old-fashioned adverts for various cigarettes. But this picture we've gone to now shows us where the show number was. It's on 3 of the balloons, 6, 7, and 6, 8, and 7. So it's a little balloon. That's the 8. There's the 7. There's the 6. 6, 8, 7.
Oh, I see.
So that's where the show number was hidden on some of the balloons. And I used the same font as I did for the title. Now, the show logo is on that balloon there above the H for Hills. Excuse me. And we just need to find the penguin. So the jackass was being a jackass. And for some reason, Maria is using a little wicker basket to put her fag ash. Cigarette ash. We call them fags in the UK. Used to, anyway. So cigarette ash in, and that sadly is where the jackass is sitting. He's sitting inside the trash bin that Maria is using.
He gets no
to
respect.
Dump.
No respect.
No, exactly.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, we were talking about the Latvian smuggling cigarettes into Belarus or the other way around. I can't remember. It seems a little counterproductive to me to have advertising on the boxes of the items you're trying to smuggle. I guess they're not very smart over there.
No. I mean, they're using balloons for a start. So they could have gone anywhere. As we know, balloons are completely random in the way they fly. So
I love it.
The only control they have over them is to go up or down.
Yeah. And wherever
although some balloon pilots claim to be able to maneuver into the airflows, guide themselves doing that.
Best production.
Yeah, one of your best art productions.
Thank you. Thank you for AI.
Yeah.
Although there's an awful lot of work involved. For example, in the AI didn't put much smoke in there, so I had to add the smoke that Maria is blowing out.
How many fingers did Maria have?
Oh, yeah, she had a bunch of fun. Well, her hand, particularly her right hand, was incredibly large. And there was a very odd-looking finger sticking out of her left hand. So all that had to be altered. Yeah. But
you're getting really good at that. Fixing the fingers in AI.
Yeah, well, I have to because AI just has no idea what a hand is.
As I said, when AI takes over the world, you'll know the ones that are not human because they're going to have many, many, many more fingers than a normal human has. Yeah, I guess.
Yes. Indeed. Oh, good fun.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about in your what's been happening
only
with
to
you?
say that I apologize if I get a bit grumpy or rub my shoulder. I've had to go and see physio today. I've got a very badly strained right shoulder, and the physio has told me to rest it completely for several weeks in the hope that the pain goes away, which is at the moment radiating up into my skull, down into my back, going down into my arm. It's just horrid. So, yeah.
Are you going to comply with the doctor's advice?
Yeah, I'm suspending all my pétanque matches for the distant future, for the near future anyway.
When does bowls start?
I may not be playing bowls this next year. It doesn't start till sort of April, May time. But I may going pétanque full time. It depends.
Oh.
Yes, I won't be able to do both, I don't think, because they're both very time consuming.
A traveling pétanque league where you could travel all across the world?
Absolutely, yeah. There's the Southern... not necessarily across the world. I don't think pétanque is played in that many countries. Probably all the French colonies, they probably play
Ivory
pétanque.
Coast.
But,
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's where you want to go. Not.
Interesting.
And there are enough clubs in the UK for us to run leagues and go and visit other clubs and things.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So let's see. I think we can knock out a little bit of feedback here. 3, 5, and 7. I think
it's
the
7
section.
if you can.
Okay.
If you can.
All right. So let's. Oh, okay. I need to get
Video. And
some
Ernest was in the
video ready, and
Yeah,
this was sent in to us from Metro Doc Ernest, and he was with us. Was he with us today, or only in part 1? Okay, he's here in. Oh, there he is! Yay! That's right. Thank you.
Right there.
So he sent us. Let me go back to his feedback here. It just says the name of his feedback or his subject: Waiver be damned. And what the heck is he talking about here? So let's watch this video together, shall we? From Bass Aviation, Real Aviation Communication.
From Reserve 5 Hotel, or the Christian 5 Hotel, you can fly westbound for 2 miles in northwest.
Westbound for 2 miles in northwest, stationer 5 Hotel, thank you. Citation 18 Kilo, maintain 10,000. There's going to be a flight of 4 F-35s at 9,500.
Looking in 10-5 to 10. 1 Kilo, thanks.
This is a Broncos game, right?
Yes.
10-35 in sight, 1 Kilo.
Say again?
We got the fast movers in sight, 1 Kilo.
Oh, thanks.
Fast movers.
Yeah, so
118 Kilo, I'm sorry. Did you say you saw the airport or the F-35?
Yeah, confusion.
We have the F-35s in sight, 1 Kilo.
That's what.
Thank you.
You know, that's what happens when you try to use like fancy.
Approach station 2255 Hotel, VFR request. Unable.
Airport's in sight for 1 Kilo, 1 help.
18 Kilo, thank you. I'm going to have lower once I make sure those F-35s aren't going to pop back up in your face.
No problem, appreciate it, 1 Kilo.
Pop in your face. That sounds nasty.
Yeah, it does. What I meant to do, let's see, well, it's 121 mark. Okay. So let me, and I'll have to do some post editing here to get this all in the right order. What I planned to do was to read this at the very beginning of the video. This was at Empower Field at Mile High. Well, I think they used to call it Mile High Stadium. Maybe they still do, in Denver, Colorado. It was a National Football League football game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos on November 16th. Okay, and when they have these games, they usually put out these temporary flight restrictions, TFRs. I think that's what that stands for. Yep. An area that, you know, like when the president or any, you know, VIPs go anywhere, they sometimes have these TFRs so that people stay away from, you know, these areas with these very important people or very important football players. And so that's what they've established here from the surface up to 3,000 feet above the ground over Mile High Stadium, or Empower Field now it's called. And so the video starts off with, or one of the things it starts off with is an airplane requesting a clearance to proceed over to this TFR in their airspace and get flight following. And then we will hear them be denied. Okay, so
a
now
GA plane, yeah.
Yeah, it's a general aviation plane. And so now I'm going to go back to where we were.
18 Kilo, descend and maintain 9,000. There's traffic 12 o'clock, 4 miles. They're westbound at 8,000 indicated. Those F-35s are 12 o'clock, 8 miles. They are eastbound, 7,500.
We got them in sight visually, 1 Kilo, down to 9,000, 1 Kilo.
November 2255 Hotel is a Cessna T-206 stationaire performing aerial camera work for the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs. The aircraft had carried out the same mission earlier that afternoon, orbiting the stadium for 2 hours. At this time on video, formation of 4 F-35s is holding 15 miles south of the stadium, awaiting for a flyby after the national anthem. Okay, so a lot of these games, they'll play and sing the national anthem, and then just at the right moment, at the very end, the formation flight flies by, and it's a very exciting thing. Okay, so that's what these F-35s are planning on doing, except for we have this November 2255 hotel, the Cessna 206, up there doing some aerial camera work, and so that's the conflict.
Top Hat 1, Denver, hello. There's traffic 12 o'clock, about a mile, northeastbound 95 unindicated.
Okay, Top Hat is the F-35s, and we're not hearing them at all because I think they're using a UHF frequency that's not recorded on liveatc.net.
118 Kilo, that traffic's not a factor. Descend and maintain 8,000.
8,000, thank you.
Top Hat 1, if you could maintain VFR at or below 8,500 for me, that'd be great. And then if you need higher or whatever, let me know. Top Hat 1, Roger. There is traffic over the stadium, call sign 2255 Hotel at 7,400 indicated on a 1200 code. We're not talking to them. Maybe they don't know the Bravo or the thing is on.
Station Air 2255 Hotel, we did try to call you. You said unable for flights following.
2255 Hotel, that's okay, but that doesn't mean you can go into the TFR that goes up to 8,300 feet, and you're in it at 7,400 feet. So, that's not okay. So you need to exit because 4 F-35s are going in.
I do have a waiver to be in the TFR. I'm here on a job. If I need to move for the F-15s, I can.
Being at work does not mean you can just go into a TFR. You need to exit to the west.
I'll exit to the west, Station Air 55 Hotel.
Oh boy.
Departure Gaslight 800 is 8,000 feet runway heading.
Gaslight 800, Denver departure. Hello, radar contact. Turn left heading 110.
Left heading 110 for Gaslight 800.
Falcon 33 Alpha, turn right heading 080. Airport's off the right on about 5 miles.
280. 080, got the airport inside 23 Alpha.
55 Hotel, I need you to exit faster. I have 4 F-35s 15 miles south of the airport, or south of the stadium at 400 knots.
We're heading westbound, Station Air 55 Hotel.
Okay, great. For 2255 Hotel, be advised of a possible pilot deviation. Advised you call Denver Tracon at, let me know when you're ready for the phone number.
We're ready to copy, Station Air 55 Hotel.
303-342.
5309.
303-342.
She gave her plenty of warning.
55 Hotel.
She just kept going round and round in circles.
Top Hat 1, is there an advisory frequency that you want to be on, or what's your plan when you're done with the stadium?
Okay, those are the F-35s again.
Top Hat 1, okay, in that case, change to advisory frequency approved. When you're done, you can contact Buckley Tower directly.
Station Air 2255 Hotel, are we going to be able to be over the stadium at all?
55 Hotel, stand by. We'll get back to you in a couple minutes.
Okay, there's an inset video here on the Bass Aviation video of the F-35s flying over the top of the stadium. Very cool.
Top Hat 1, thanks. Buckley Tower, have a great day.
Okay, they're going back to Buckley.
And 55 Hotel, you're going to be unable to enter the TFR at this time. You got to go on the ground and contact us. I guess there's an issue. They deviated you. I'm not sure what's going on, but you're going to have to talk to Soup about what you want to do in there.
Okay, I mean, we do have a waiver. I did call someone this morning to get permission to be there, so I can go back to Centennial and call again.
Yeah, when you get permission to go in there, you still need to call us to get clearance into it, which you didn't do, so that's why you got deviated. So you got to go back to Centennial, and you got to go on the ground and call the Soup, and then we'll sort it out.
Okay, thank you.
Not happy.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And let's see, the Station Air November 2255 Hotel returned to Centennial and departed 30 minutes later for nearly 3 hours over the stadium. So I think in this case, it was just an instance of misunderstanding what it means to have a waiver to go into the TFR, and the fact that you, even if you're given a waiver and permission to go in it, you have to actually receive real-time permission from air traffic control before you actually proceed. And I think that might be what the misunderstanding was. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I don't suppose she got into a lot of trouble once everything was made clear.
Yeah. Apparently, things got a little ironed out there because she was allowed to return and do some more aerial photography work. So,
I mean, one of the most important things here is to keep your cool, do what air traffic want, and be polite because it just helps smooth the waters. So when you make that phone call, you're much more likely to get a good result at the end of it.
It was almost as if like she tried to get permission to do what she wanted to do, and then she was kind of put off by the controller saying, stand by or unable. Yeah. And then she probably thought to herself, okay, well, no problem. I'm going to go anyway because I have a waiver.
She called for flight following, and the controller was a bit busy and wasn't able to give flight following. She didn't really make it clear that she wanted to enter the TFR to do filming that she had a waiver for.
Yet another example of communication or lack thereof. The better communication that would have had a happier outcome, I think. McHerron said she was no match for the F-35s. Yeah, those F-35s are quite a bit bigger and faster.
Yeah, got lots of guns and missiles.
Yeah,
which I don't think those Cessnas have. They don't have a lot of guns
unless
and missiles.
It's some special one. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Steph.
Yeah, Dr. Steph does, yeah.
Yeah, well, she can throw all sorts of things at them.
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, I think we're able to squeeze one more piece of feedback before we end this episode, and this is from Grant, our good friend Grant down under, Grant McHerron. The dreaded ATSB report showing 10% more likely for balloons. Okay, here's Grant. Hey-o, back in APG 686, my sister's a bassoon. As soon as you mentioned...
Still makes me laugh.
Yeah. Well, according to Nick, Camacho, his sister is a bassoon. Anyway, as soon as you mentioned, quote, the report and the, quote, 10% more likely bit, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Suffice it to say, I've had a few folks point this out to me, especially those who think the same as your good self regarding hot air balloons. And then a smiley face here. So he's trying to keep it all light and happy.
All light and airy.
We should add that Grant is a balloonist or a balloonatic or a balloon pilot or whatever, or all of the above, or maybe only some of the above. I'm not sure.
A balloon guidance advisor.
Yeah. While there is some concern regarding the lies, damned lies, and statistics angle for that report, it's interesting to note that you are way more likely to die in a light aircraft or helicopter accident than a ballooning one. And then in parentheses, no deaths in balloons versus many in the others. Funny how that bit wasn't mentioned. Another happy face. Hope all is well for you and Jeff, Liz, and the rest of the APG crew. All right. Let's see. P.S. Oh, this is cool. I'm going to be covering the Singapore Air Show for Australian Defense Magazine and Plane Crazy Down Under. Woohoo. Taking Kit with me, and I've blown almost all my frequent flyer points to get us business class tickets with Singapore Airlines. Ooh, nice airline.
Nice.
Fingers crossed, it all comes together as planned. And he ends with cheers.
Ask him to report back to us.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear the report from the Singapore Air Show, Grant, and how that went.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Singapore, I think that they've been acknowledged, year after year as the best airline in the entire world, which is pretty amazing. Okay, so
I'm just going to say, the thing the article mentioned that the accident rate was really more like incidents, and usually on landing where people kind of get thrown around or thrown out of the balloon. I mean, not many people get thrown out of airplanes when they're landing, but it's quite a common occurrence in a balloon. You get thrown out of the balloon. So I'm not surprised if you get thrown out of a light aircraft, you might die. So, but you don't seem to die if you get thrown out of a balloon, unless, of course, it's at altitude.
Yeah, we've covered some of those stories where people have fallen out of balloons.
Balloon catching light and, people falling to a fiery death. And getting mixed up with high-tension cables and thousands of volts go zapping through their poor, unfortunate bodies and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's enough. Someone get the hook. Pull him off stage.
All right, let's do this.
What is this, Monty Python?
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you again, Grant, and please do send some follow-up on your air show in Singapore coverage.
Yeah, are they going to be having any balloons down there?
Oh boy,
you don't see many on air shows, do you?
Oh boy. Hey, Liz, maybe keep the balloon stuff out of the feedback from now on. Okay.
So I self-generate balloon stories, don't worry.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show, the entire show.
Oh, like Christmas.
Yeah, exactly like Christmas.
Hey.
In fact, if you're watching the chapter images on your podcast player, if it supports that, you'll see that nice gold wrapped package present in your imagery right there. Anyway, so what we like to do is point you over to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where there's all kinds of information about the crew and the community and the calendar and merchandise and the library, more information about the plane tales, and probably some more stuff there too that I just don't know anything about. Anyway, it's all over there, so check it out. And we're also on social media. Captain Nick.
Yes, we are on Facebook. You just need to do a search for Airline Pilot Guy. That's all one word. If you're an ex-follower, our handle is at APG Crew, and something very similar on Instagram, just APG Crew. And of course, if you enjoy watching and listening to all the faux pas and the ruderies and the mistakes and the lack of recorders and everything else that goes wrong, then go to YouTube and you can see it all being made. YouTube/Airline Pilot Guy.
And you said something about ex-followers, the people that used to follow us, but are no longer. Is that what you mean? Or, oh, wait, no. I understand.
Like ex-wives.
Oh, you're so funny.
Not really. Okay. And speaking of not funny, we have this dude in my shower yet again. Let's see if he'll tell us a little bit about Slack. Can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
That's fine. Come on over here and tell us all about
APG
it.
listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and Plain Tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel.
I need a towel. I got shampoo in my eyes.
Well, have your wife help you with that. Yeah, see?
She's laughing at him.
I know. She's not nice.
Well, both wives do that kind of thing.
We'd also like to thank our producer, Liz, who's rejoined us here in the big
Good
picture.
job, Liz. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for all the work
Working
you do
twice
behind
as
the
hard
scenes.
this week.
Pleasure.
Hope you got double pay.
Yeah.
And also, we'd like to thank our live audience with the applause.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Showing up and being a big part of what
Some
we
of
do
them
here
here
each
for
and every
both
week.
parts, which is
I know. That's dedication right there. Either that or some kind of mental issue or something. I don't know. Anyway,
masochism.
yeah, regardless, we're happy to have all of you there. And we'd like to go ahead and wrap this thing up by wishing you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care and God bless.
Cheers, y'all.
Just off for now.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the airline pilot guy.
Good day.
I used to be such a good pilot till I started APG. I opened doors for little old ladies. I helped them to their seats. Airline pilot guy, I fly America. Oh, airline pilot guy, he can land in heavy fog. I got no friends 'cause I'm always flying. I just don't have the time. But I can land this old plane. I can land it just fine. Airline pilot guy, I fly America. Oh, airline